Okay, we're going to get started in Google Ads, and the goal of this video is to show you how to create an organized search campaign so you can get your search campaign off to the right foot. The very first thing that I would do is, if you're creating a brand new Google Ads account, is you want to set up conversion tracking. So conversion tracking allows you to actually track your key performance indicators back into your Google Ads account, and you can actually optimize your campaigns for the key things happening on your website, whether it's sales, whether it's leads, whether it's somebody booking an appointment, somebody giving you a phone call. So where you want to start first is under Tools and Settings. When you go to Measurement and Conversions, you want to make sure that you have a conversion action here. If you click on New Conversion Action, you can import them directly from Google Analytics 4. You can use the Google tag to set up your own custom Google Ads conversions. There's a lot of different ways to set up conversion tracking. This video, I really want to focus on showing you how to build an organized search campaign. So if you're interested in some more information about conversion tracking, I will put a link to my complete Google Ads conversion tracking tutorial for 2023. If you go to the video description for this video, you can see some of the different things I showed along the way. Conversion tracking with Google Analytics 4, Google Tag Manager, with the Google Tag, phone call, Shopify, WooCommerce. So it could be helpful for you to set up your conversions by watching this video. I also have a longer version of my search campaign tutorial that I recently published. I will put this in the video description as well. This is about an hour and 15, and it goes through a very similar thing as this video. So if you're looking for a little bit more detail, this is where I would go. Now, my conversion action is going to be my Beachfront Decor affiliate click. This is my primary action. It's the main conversion that I'm optimizing for. So right now it's showing no recent conversions because I don't have any conversions recorded in the last 7 days. So my conversion is enabled. It is tracking properly because I imported it directly from my Google Analytics 4, where it's tracking properly there. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back over here, and once you have your conversion action all set up properly, you want to click on the plus sign here and you want to create a new campaign. The very first thing is choosing your campaign objective. So since we're using conversion tracking, you either want to choose sales or leads. So since my individual conversion is only tracking affiliate clicks on my website, my conversion tracks every time someone clicks one of these Learn More buttons or any type of outbound click on my website that goes to one of my affiliates. So every single conversion for me counts as one, and there's no actual value being pulled in with my conversions. If you have value in with your conversions, so for example, somebody purchases something for me for $49.99, I pull in, okay, I just drove a sale from Google Ads for $49.99. Then what you want to do is focus on sales. So because since you're driving sales, that's what you're doing. For me, since I'm driving affiliate clicks, I'm going to count them as leads, and it's going to say use these conversion goals to improve your leads, and you want your conversion goal here. This is the main conversion goal we're going to be optimizing our campaign for, and then we're going to click on continue, and now we need to choose a campaign type. So in this case, we're creating a search campaign, and we want to choose website visits as the way to reach our goal. We're going to enter our business website here, so beachfrontdecor.com, and then name your campaign, so something descriptive for your campaign name. Generally, I'll just do, so for this one, I'll just do example Beachfront Decor search campaign. And we're going to click on continue. Okay, the very first thing is going to be your bidding strategy. So what do you want to focus on? In my case, it's going to be conversions. If you are, again, driving sales and you are pulling in that revenue, then go for conversion value, because then Google Ads will actually optimize your return on ad spend. And instead of driving you more conversions, they're going to be focused on driving you more conversion value. Now for me, I'm going to choose conversions. We can set a target cost per action. So basically I can say, if every conversion is worth $5 for my business, which it's not, these clicks are worth basically cents for me, which is why I don't run a lot of Google Ads campaigns for Beachfront Decor. But if it's worth $5, then I'd probably want to set a target cost per action here just to get started of something like $2. So what I try to do is I'm trying to drive my leads for less than the value they're actually worth for my business. If a conversion is worth $50 for your business, you don't want to set a target CPA of $75, because that means you are saying, I want to spend $75 for every $50 lead that's added to my business. So you can set a target cost per action. I'll show you at the very end of this video how you can set up a little bit more control over your bidding strategy. For right now, I'm just going to choose to focus on conversions. If you are pulling in that value, then focus on conversion value. Scroll down here, customer acquisition, only bid for new customers. So this really just depends on your overall strategy. The option limits your ads to only new customers. So if you're really focused on driving new customers from Google Ads and you don't care about using existing customers, then what you would want to do is only bid for new customers here. You can also separate campaigns and do one with new user acquisition and one bidding on people that have already visited your website, people that have purchased from you. So you can create multiple campaigns to kind of have a little bit more control over who's seeing your ads and how much you're spending. So bidding, we're focused on conversions. We're going to click on next. Next is going to be campaign settings. So we're running search network campaigns. So we want to run on the search network and we want to include Google search partners. So search partners can include things like YouTube, can include really any type of website that has a Google search bar. And when people search it, it's going to show some advertisements at the bottom. So a lot of different Google search partners, but for the most part, your ads are just going to run across the Google search network, the standard Google. So down here, it's going to say include Google Display Network. I would not recommend including the Google Display Network, and I would not recommend using display expansion. So in my opinion, search network, include Google search partners will give you the best results. Next is going to be location targeting. So you want to make sure you're targeting exactly the customers where you want to reach them. So you can enter all sorts of locations here. If we do enter another location, search any location from the list. Let's just say Miami, for example. If we search something like Miami, you can target the city, you can target the entire Miami market, the county, you can target Miami Beach, Florida, a different city, Miami Gardens, a different city, Miami County, Ohio, a different county. So there's a lot of different options here. You can target the entire state of Florida, or you can target the entire United States. So choose the right market depending on where you want to sell your products or services to. I'm going to choose United States for now. And then here under location options, I would recommend choosing presence. It's people in or regularly in your targeted locations. This one also includes people that have shown interest in your targeted locations. I just prefer to use presence, people that are in or regularly in my targeted locations. Next is going to be language targeting. So select the languages your customers speak. So whatever languages your customers speak here, that's what you want to enter. Audience segments. So one option you have is you can actually add your own data segments. So you're remarketing audiences to a search campaign and you can bid up or down on them. You can also add some of the other built-in audiences through Google Ads, like in-market audiences. You can do combined segments, your data segments, affinity audiences. For right now, I'm going to skip audience segments. It's something that you can always add to your campaigns later, and it's something I'll go through as I continue to make more Google Ads tutorials. But for right now, we don't have to use audience segments. So next is going to be broad match keywords. So you can choose to use broad match keywords for your entire campaign. I would recommend setting this to off. So this is really more for advanced advertisers, I would say, and large budget advertisers who don't have a problem doing a little bit more testing, because I'll go over keyword match types as we go, but keeping them off is a best practice, especially for your first campaign. More settings here. Ad rotation, just leave set to optimize to prefer the best performing ads. Start and end dates. If you need to start or end your campaign on a certain date, you can do that here. Ad schedules, you can actually set a specific ad schedule to say, I want my ads to run Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or whatever times that you want them to run. So brand restrictions, another option here I'm not going to go through right now, and I'm not going to go through campaign URL options, things you don't necessarily need to use when you're setting up your campaign. So let's click on next here, and now we are ready to set up our first ad group. So this is where the important part of the video comes and really the overall helpful part. So we're going to start with our first ad group, and what we could do is name it at the top. The example I'm just going to use today is, let's just say I want to set up a campaign for different types of bedding on my website. So the example I've been using has been my mermaid bedding sets page. So you can see here this Excel spreadsheet, some page titles, some landing page URLs. When you're setting up your campaign, one of the most important things you can do as far as an organization standpoint, understand all the different landing pages you plan to send traffic to, and make sure you are creating ad groups that are organized so you are basically have a landing page for each individual ad group that you're creating. What I mean by that is, let's just start with our mermaid bedding sets example, since I've been showing that page on my website. So our page title is mermaid bedding sets. Our landing page URL is, you could see my beach bedding sets, and down here, mermaid bedding sets. When we come to that page on my website, what you can see is all I'm selling on this page are mermaid bedding sets. So you want to use landing pages that are very, very relevant to the keywords that you're going to be targeting. Now you may say, how do I find the right keywords for what I'm targeting? This is where using your page titles can also be very useful, and also just using your landing page URL. So let's take my landing page URL here. I'm going to copy it. We're going to come back over here to Google Ads, and what we can do is enter our landing page URL right here, and then enter products or services to advertise. So right now it automatically gave us all of these different keyword suggestions just based on our website. So obviously I don't want to put all of these keywords in the same ad group. You want things to be very organized, and I'm also not going to target keywords like home decor. It's way too broad of a keyword. We want keywords that are going to be really specific to what people are looking for. In this case, mermaid bedding sets. So let's search mermaid bedding here. And we're going to click on update keyword suggestion. So it's going to change our keywords down here at the bottom. Okay, replace our current keywords. Okay, and to keep this really simple, the way that I would recommend targeting keywords in your ad groups is if I have something like mermaid bedding sets here, some are comforters, some are quilts, some are duvet covers, and I don't really have sheets on this page. So one of the very first things I see here is mermaid sheets. Let's get rid of that right here. Little Mermaid bedding. I do have some Little Mermaid bedding on that page, but they're not all related to Little Mermaid bedding. So this keyword I would want to send to a landing page with only Little Mermaid bedding. So for right now, we're just not going to target that keyword, and our ads still may show up for Little Mermaid type keywords, but for right now, let's do mermaid bedding. The way that I'm going to target keywords is I'm going to use phrase match keywords. So I would highly recommend using phrase match keywords when you're setting up your first campaign. If we go over keyword match types real quick, there are 3 different keywords. So you can see I just put quotes around my keyword here. Coming back over, putting quotes around this makes it a phrase match keyword. If I didn't do anything to these keywords, they'd be broad match keywords. And if you put brackets around them, then they're exact match keywords. You could change your keyword match types at any time after you launch your campaign, so don't worry too much about the match types you use initially. So here's how keyword match types work. So if somebody, let's say we're targeting the keyword lawn mowing service. So right here we have lawn mowing service as one of our keywords. So the difference between broad, phrase, and exact is a broad match keyword may show for a search like lawn aeration prices. Basically, it's somebody is looking for something similar to lawn mowing services, but it's not exactly what they're looking for. With phrase match keywords, you can see people may type in lawn mowing service near me, a perfect keyword search for the keyword we're targeting. Hire company to mow lawn, landscaping service to cut grass. You could see the intent is so much closer with those searches than with this actual keyword here. Last but not least is exact, and that's going to be the absolute tightest matching. So if you have a keyword lawn mowing service with an exact match type, then your ads may show for the exact keyword and things that are very, very similar. So close synonyms, grass cutting service, 2 different synonyms of lawn mowing service. So it's got to be basically the same exact meaning. This says ads may show on searches that include the meaning, and this is ads may show on searches that relate to your keyword. Broad match is going to lead to a lot of irrelevant searches in your campaign. Exact match is going to limit your overall volume. Phrase match to me gives the best possible results for most advertisers. So that's where I would start with phrase match keywords. Now, if we have something like mermaid bedding here, what I would do is I'd go through the keywords that they recommended here and try to find any keyword that is relevant to the products or services you have on your page. It's really going to come down to what are you trying to advertise. So for me, I'm going to do mermaid bedding. As I scroll down here, I could see mermaid quilt. I could see mermaid comforter. I know mermaid bedding, mermaid quilts. Don't worry about plurals. Don't worry about misspellings. Don't worry about anything like that. If I have mermaid quilts here, this will also match for mermaid quilt sets, mermaid quilts for sale. So you don't have to target every single individual keyword you can possibly think of. Mermaid comforters. So it used to be a little more like that, but Google's gotten a lot better with making our advertisers' lives a little easier in certain ways. So if I have these 4 keywords, mermaid bedding, mermaid quilts, mermaid comforters, mermaid duvet covers, we'll get rid of the rest of the keywords. These are the only 4 keywords that we are going to target within this individual ad group. These 4 keywords will likely match hundreds or thousands of different search queries. So you don't need a million keywords that you're targeting. You just want keywords that are going to be very close to what you have on your landing page. So on my landing page, I have all 4 of these things. So let's continue to move on down here. Next is going to be ad creation. Now, they have a thing here, upgrade your keywords through broad match. And I always say this, people have listened to me a lot. Broad match keywords are not upgraded keywords. They are just a different match type. Add more keywords. Show your ads more often to people searching for what your business offers. Google Ads wants you to add as many keywords as possible here because that allows them to basically enter your ad into more auctions. So broad match keywords, more keywords, allow Google to enter your ad into more auctions. Doing what we're doing allows us to create an organized search campaign. So sometimes Google has their own interests at heart. We have our interests at heart. We want to create a mermaid bedding ad group. So we can name our ad group up here. Mermaid bedding ad group. So we could see our keywords here. We have 4 total keywords. We're going to be sending traffic to this landing page. So let's copy our landing page, though it Put it right here in our final URL. So now it's time for ad creation. These are responsive search ads. In every single ad group, you should be running 2 responsive search ads, and you should kind of use different copy for them. You don't necessarily have to, because you can enter 15 different headlines here, 4 description lines, and Google is just constantly going to serve different advertisements, different combinations based on exactly what it is that we enter here in our headlines and our description lines. So what we want to do with our display path is I don't know if I could fit mermaid bedding here. Might be over there. So it's perfect. We got the 15 characters here. So display path is just our display URL in our advertisement. So you can see beachfrontdecor.com/mermaid bedding. So it's not perfect, but that's fine. It just makes it look like a more relevant ad to exactly the keywords we're targeting. Next is going to be headlines. For optimal ad performance, include these keywords in your headlines. And then I also want to show you here some more ideas. So if we come over to more ideas, they're going to give us some different ideas here as well. They only give us these 4. So if you come up here to add headlines and click on view ideas, there's going to be a lot more options here too. Call to action phrases, promotion phrases, trust phrases, inventory phrases. I generally start my first 5 headlines with the first few headlines with exactly the types of keywords I am already targeting in my ad group. So we'll start with mermaid bedding. We'll do mermaid duvet covers. Okay, so first 5 headlines here. Mermaid bedding, mermaid duvet covers, mermaid comforters, mermaid quilts, best beach bedding sets. So right now our ad strength is poor because we need to add more headlines, and I also haven't done my description lines yet. So what I generally do is I'll go through some of these options here and add another 5 just right from some of the different headline suggestions they have. So what I can do is we'll come down to this. We'll go high quality products. We will say browse our inventory online. We don't have any locations, so we're not going to do that. We'll say fast delivery, so quick delivery, in stock, ready to ship. We'll just go quick delivery. Now our ad strength is going to improve up here at the top. You don't have to add too many of these, but basically the reason why you can add these. So let's add official website, and I will just add beachfront decor as well. So let's get rid of these headline suggestions real quick. The way the ads are going to look is you don't want things to just be mermaid comforters, mermaid bedding sets, you want mermaid comforters, browse our inventory online. So you want ads that kind of match up and look natural for exactly what we're promoting. High quality products, mermaid duvet covers. So pretty simple, but this is really what you're looking for to give yourself really strong advertisements, because you don't just want a bunch of things about mermaid bedding, mermaid bedding, mermaid bedding, because they can only serve so many of your headlines anyway. And if you have mermaid bedding here, that's perfectly fine. You could always do mermaid bedding sets, or I could do one like something like 100 plus mermaid bedding sets. So 100 plus mermaid bedding sets. So you could do a couple different variations of this. So I'm going to fill out the rest of my headlines here. So we'll fast forward a little bit through this process. Okay, we have our 15 headlines added now, and this is generally what my ads will look like. Now our ad strength is excellent right now. You want your ads to be good or excellent when you're looking at your ad strength up at the top. You don't want average or poor. You definitely don't want poor. Now, I haven't even done my description lines yet, so I don't know why it's showing excellent. Surprise it is. But final URL, make sure you are sending traffic to the right landing pages. Display path, we have our different headlines. So scroll through some of these headlines here. We went over some of the ones at the top already, and then I added some of these call to action phrases, add a couple different variations, 100 plus mermaid bedding sets. We have top mermaid quilts and coverlets. We have top rated mermaid bedding. Shop online now, shop our bedding. So a few different call to action lines, a few different things to encourage people to actually purchase mermaid bedding. Now we have these really bad description lines, so we need to update all 4 of these descriptions. So we can go to view ideas for this as well. So both of these descriptions not as great. So I'm going to write a few different descriptions for mermaid bedding sets, and we're going to fast forward to this part. Okay, we have our 4 different description lines, all pretty similar. Shop the top-rated mermaid bedding sets, elevate bedtime, shop the top-rated mermaid quilt sets, discover the best mermaid-themed comforters, quilts, duvet covers, experience the most beautiful and comfortable mermaid bedding sets every single night. So some basic description lines, and I wouldn't worry too much about your descriptions. Your headlines are more important. But just coming over here, just looking at some of the different variations. So 100 plus mermaid bedding sets, official website, mermaid bedding, quick delivery. So you're kind of looking to create ads like this where it's, here's what we're selling, here's our selling point. Top rated mermaid bedding, mermaid quilts. So all of these pretty good advertisements I like. Ad strength is excellent. So let's come down here and continue to set up our advertisements. And now we can set up our business name and logos. So you need to actually get access to this and complete an advertiser verification. I need to complete my verification to get access. I will do that. I'm not sure if it'll be a video, but one thing you can do to add business name and logos to your advertisements. Next is going to be site links. So there's different assets that you can add to your advertisements. Promotions, prices, calls, structured snippets, lead forms, apps, and then we have call out extensions and we have site link extensions. So go over this pretty quickly. Site links, we can add 4 or more links to our advertisements, helps maximize performance. Call outs allow you to add more business information to your advertisements. Your assets are not going to show every single time that your advertisements show. So you might just have an advertisement that looks like the ones that are showing up here with no assets attached to them. Now, assets used to be called ad extensions, but now they're called assets. So just keep that in mind. If you're familiar with ad extensions, they're the same thing. Promotions. So I can add a promotion here and I can do something like for our Black Friday sale, we are offering off 20% off. So you can add a campaign level promotion, set your occasion. It could be really anything. So if it's mermaid bedding, not really sure what I do, but let's just say Halloween sale, and we'll say a 10% discount. So you can do that, and it's going to say Halloween, this is $10 off. You could do a percent discount. So just some different ways to set up promotions as far as adding these to your individual advertisements. These would be at the campaign level. You can also add ad group level assets as well. So I'm going to be creating more tutorials about some of the different asset types, and I'm going to create basically a huge video going over each individual asset type. So quickly, the 2 that you should definitely add to your advertisements. Site links. So if we click on plus here, you can add 4 or more links to our advertisements. So you can see I have 4 site link assets created at this campaign level. So beachfront decor shop. This one says fall beach decor, beach pendant lights, beach ceiling fans. So obviously don't want to use most of these, but beachfront decor shop could work. Fall's coming up, so I could add fall beach decor. Why not? We'll do new site link, and the way to add a site link here is I could just do something like mermaid bedding sets. We could add a quick description line 1 and 2, and we could set our final URL here as our mermaid bedding sets page. Now this is basically going to add another link to the bottom of our advertisement with mermaid bedding sets. So what you could do is instead of something like mermaid bedding sets here, come back over to my spreadsheet real quick, take my beach bedding sets page, and maybe just use a more broad page. So if somebody's searching for mermaid bedding sets, then they have the option to say, okay, instead of going to mermaid bedding sets, we want to go to beach bedding sets. So your site link should really be some of your major category pages or some of the most really profitable pages on your website. So a lot of times what websites will do with site link is they'll link directly to their pricing pages, their contact us page, a demo if it's some type of software. If it's products for sale, it's going to be a lot of product category pages, maybe an existing promotion. So I may be saying, it's my fall beach sale or my Labor Day sale, whatever it is. So you could also do Labor Day sale, send people to a landing page that's listing what your sale is, what's on sale, etc., etc. Site links are really used to enhance your advertisement by giving people some different relevant links that they can click on that would be similar to the advertisements they're already looking at. Now you can add campaign level site link extensions, and Google tends to be pretty good at serving the best possible extensions based on, or assets based on what people are actually searching for. So even if I put ceiling fans and pendant lights and you put a bunch of different campaign level site links here to our campaign, it really isn't going to hurt your overall performance for the most part. What I would do is a best practice here, add a ton of site links. So add a ton of site links to the campaign level, and we could always add assets to the ad group level. That's really another best practice, but for right now, we have our site links added. We want to add our callouts next. So callouts are just quick little blurbs of text. Free shipping over $75, fast and free returns, best beach home decor, top rated beach lighting. So different ways to actually set up your callouts, but if I just add all 4 of these, perfectly fine. But I could always add a new callout here and just do something like best beach bedding sets. You could do something like upgrade your sleep. So this would be something you'd probably want to add at the ad group level, but let's just do best beach bedding sets here. We'll click on apply, and it's that easy to add another call out to our campaign. So let's keep scrolling down. Not going to be doing promotions. Prices can be useful if you have fixed prices for things. So for example, if you have, language, we have English set here. Type, we could do, let's just say, for example, so I could do product categories here, but I could do something like services, and we could do currency US dollar, price, we could say up to, or maybe we'll just do from $59. And what you could do here is something like oil changes. So obviously this wouldn't work for my campaign, but just an example of where you can do prices. You can do individual services. Basically fixed prices are things where you want to use that qualifier is what you're looking for here. So Not going to be adding prices to my campaign. Calls, you can add a phone number. Structured snippets, you can add short snippets of text. So you could do something like, for example, colleges can do something like degree programs. And under degree programs, they could do things like business, history, whatever it may be. Lead forms, I will do a separate video about lead forms. And apps, if you have a mobile app, you can add it here. So let's click on done. We have our advertisement created right now. We have our keywords that we're targeting. We have our ad group. We have our landing page. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click on next, and it's going to have us basically launch our campaign at this point. First things first is setting our budget, but set your custom budget. The best way to look at this is you want to set an average daily budget. Take your monthly budget and divide it by 30. If your monthly budget, for example, is $900, then set a daily budget at $30. Over the course of a month, you are going to spend somewhere right around $900. So take that budget and divide it by 30. You may have a day where you spend $45. You may have a day where you spend $12. So what Google Ads is going to try to do is set your budget in a way where it's actually going to give you the best possible performance over the course of a month. Now, don't worry too much about our actually estimates over here because we have one ad group created. Ideally, we want to create a ton more ad groups, target a ton more keywords. So not something I would worry too much about seeing some of these weekly estimates. But right now we are ready to, maybe do a quick little authentication as I'm publishing my campaign. So you may have the same thing, just authenticate your account. My campaign's ready to publish. So we scroll down, we have our campaign name, search campaign, objective is leads, goal is outbound clicks. Bidding, we're using maximize conversions. I'll show you how to set some bid caps at the end of this. Customer acquisition, bid equally for new and existing customers. No segments, so Google Search Network Search Partner. We're not using just broad match keywords. We're using keyword match types. 4 total keywords, 1 ad, $30 a day. Now, when we publish our campaign, we obviously need to keep adding ad groups to it. So this is basically just the very beginning of our process. We have our example campaign here. So the next thing that you would want to do is you want to come over here to our ad groups, and we want to create more ad groups. So what we could do is you could see our mermaid bedding here. Let's just add a brand new ad group. Come over to our spreadsheet, and let's just use our shark bedding sets example. So this one is going to be sending traffic to this shark bedding landing page. So we'll start by copying our landing page, coming back over to our campaign, naming our ad group. So we'll do shark bedding. This is going to be a standard ad group. So let's keep scrolling down. Enter our URL. Okay, so we're going to enter our keyword here, which is shark bedding. So I was getting my shark and turtle confused a second ago, but ad group name, shark bedding. Keywords, we're using our shark bedding landing page, shark bedding keyword. Let's get our keyword suggestions, and these are probably going to be very similar to the mermaid keywords. So we're just going to use things like shark bedding. Again, sheets. I just feel like people are looking for sheets. I don't want to send them to a page with all sorts of bedding sets. I'd rather create different pages for sheets. When you see this and you are the website owner, what this means is this is an opportunity for a keyword we can target and get some SEO traffic most likely, and another keyword we can target for our Google Ads campaign because it's relevant, but I don't have the best possible landing page for it. So shark bedding, shark quilts, we'll do shark duvet covers. We don't have to worry about the different sizes. So if somebody searches full or twin, it'll still match all of these different options here. And it doesn't make sense to really set up completely separate ad groups for all of those different variations, but you could do it. Shark comforters, and get rid of the rest of our keywords down here. And then we're going to create our advertisements. Now the advertising creation tends to be a little bit of a longer process. So I'm kind of going to fast forward to it. It's going to say your campaign's using smart bidding, use broad match to get more conversions. We're not doing that. We're going to click on save and continue. Okay, so we have our ad group for shark bedding here. It's basically going to pull in everything for mermaids. So where that's really useful is all we need to do is update our landing page. So we have the right landing page here, update our display path, and then just come through here and just update everywhere it says mermaid, we're going to add shark. So we're just going to switch all of these around, and then I'm going to update my description lines. Okay, so we have our final URL here. Now, if you come up to the top, one of the things you're going to see is we're in our shark bedding ad group. Here are the keywords for our ad group. My ad strength is showing poor. I wouldn't worry too much if it's showing that. I mean, we basically just created the same ad as the mermaid bedding. We have the correct landing page. We have the correct display path. All of our headlines are all geared towards shark bedding, shark duvet covers. It's basically saying include popular keywords in our headlines, but when you click on view ideas, it says no headline suggestions available with top keywords. So it may just be an issue with Google Ads. So if you're seeing this poor when you're creating campaigns, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Double check your ads, just make sure they're all relevant. These all look very relevant here, so we're going to keep scrolling down. We have all of our description lines here. Can always do a quick Control F, make sure we don't have any mermaid specific things on this page, but it looks like everything's good with this advertisement. So we have our second ad group now. We can save and continue and launch our second ad group. Now what you're going to do is you're going to continue that process for all of these different pages, all these different landing pages. I will be creating a video where I do that over and over again and kind of create the best campaign I can. Then I'm going to run that campaign ongoing. So that should come out later this week. Now what we can do is coming into your ad groups, and this is what I like to do with assets sometimes, is coming into your ad groups. If we go to our assets, so we're in our mermaid bedding ad group, we're at the assets page. What you can see here is if we click, you can click on any of these to look at some of the different assets that we have. If we click on the plus sign, you can choose from this whole entire list here. So there's a lot here. But what we're going to do is we can choose a site link, really the most popular asset, site links and callouts. And we can add something to the ad group level. So this is where you can add a site link text and just do something like our favorite mermaid. No, it's not going to work. You could add two different options here for site links. So we'll just keep it really simple. You could do one that's just mermaid bedding, send people to the same exact landing page. The other thing you can do is something like mermaid decor. And if you have other pages on your website, so for example, I have a page on my website with mermaid area rugs. If somebody's searching for mermaid bedding, there's a good chance they're interested in some of these other products as well. So you can add a lot of these assets at the ad group level as well. So instead of doing it at the campaign level, just choose ad group, make sure you're in the right ad group, and then choose those site links for that ad group. They're going to be more likely to show. Your ads will be more relevant. They'll be stronger. You'll end up having much better results by doing this. So I would recommend setting up ad group level assets, specifically some of the call outs you can do. So if you click on the plus sign, be the same exact thing doing call out here. You could also do structured snippets if there's something specific to that ad group. So I would recommend doing some of those ad group assets. So there's some different options as far as what you can add to the ad group and campaign level. So pricing may be useful for certain ad groups that you don't want to actually add at the campaign level. So that's one thing as we launch our campaign. Really quickly, I don't want my campaign to run. If you don't want your campaign to run at a certain point, just pause it for now. So you could always pause it. All your advertisements, I mean. So I'm in my one ad group. But we could do, come back to the campaign level. Just pause your advertisements for now. And as you are building your campaign, you can make sure that your ads aren't actually running yet. I like to have everything ready at the same time. Everything kind of, instead of under review, make sure everything is eligible to run. And launch all my ads at the same time and let my entire campaign run so that we don't have one ad group that starts running and spends hundreds of dollars while nothing else gets any type of activity yet. So make sure we're spending our hard-earned advertising dollars on all of our different ad groups. Last couple things for this video. So we're in our campaign. We can come over here to the left to settings. So under settings, what we can do is just make sure that all of our settings are correct for who we want to target, our goals, everything like that. Campaign name, goals. So this is saying use account goal settings. We could do campaign specific goals and say, I want outbound clicks. This is the main goal that we're optimizing for. Click on save. So I'd recommend doing that if you have that one main goal you're optimizing for. Customer acquisition, bid equally for new and existing. Marketing objective is leads. So obviously we're enabled. Google Search Network search partners. So we kind of went through all these with some of the different options that we had when we were setting up our campaign. So it's taking forever to load, but let's come to tools and settings really quick. The next thing I want to show you is under shared library. Okay, finally saved it. Under tools and settings, under shared library, I want to show you bid strategies. Now, Audience Manager is where you can actually create audiences as well. I'm not going to go through that in this video. Negative keyword lists, another place you can actually add negative keywords to. So I'm going to go through all of these, I promise, in separate videos. This is really meant to be a quicker Google Ads tutorial. I will have a very long version of this tutorial out so we can go through everything. But you can set up portfolio bid strategies. So for example, and this is something I do a lot if I'm really trying to control costs, instead of using maximize conversions, we can use a target CPA. And what I could do is I could say target CPA, beachfront decor example campaign. Okay, so the campaign we just created. So we're going to do this in our beachfront decor account. Our currency, US dollar. We can select a specific campaign to apply this to. So the one that we just created, our example beachfront decor search campaign. So similar to our other one, but we're using the maximize conversions in that one. So we have maximize, instead of maximize conversions, what we could do is target CPA. And under target CPA, I could say I want to drive every single lead for $2 or less. So we're going to keep scrolling down. Now, one thing we can do is create a shared budget. So let's just say we're running 3 different campaigns. We can create one shared budget to use with our portfolio strategy. This is showing enter the average you want to spend each day across one campaign. Really no reason to create a shared budget with a one campaign. Here's what I want to show you is that under advanced options, you can set minimum bid limits and maximum bid limits. If my target CPA is $2, I'm trying to drive affiliate outbound clicks for the cheapest possible price I can. Then what I want to do is when I'm setting my bid strategy is set a maximum bid limit to make sure I'm not bidding too high. So I could do something like 60 cents. They don't work in display only campaigns, so only search campaigns. But if I set something like 60 cents, that means that's the max that Google is going to bid at any time on the keywords that I'm actually targeting. There's upsides and downsides to bid limits. Setting a bid limit means there are certain auctions you're just not going to enter. Sometimes you have to bid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even more to even have the chance to enter an auction. So if you don't set maximum bid limits, basically what's going to happen is Google Ads is going to test with our campaign, and they're going to use this target CPA to try to drive us the most possible conversions under that target CPA. If we set maximum bid limits, we're basically saying we're going to take away some of the testing power from Google Ads. We're going to put it into our own hands and say anything that costs more than this is not going to be profitable for us anyway. So we're going to set a maximum bid limit of 60 cents. Click on save. It'll now be applied to that campaign. And then what we can do is we can come back over to all of our campaigns here. So come over to the overview screen, come back to our campaign screen. And when we're in here, what you can see is the one we just launched, our example, kind of confusing because these both have the same names. But what we could do is we have the one we just launched for $30 a day. I mean, all our ads are paused in this one as well, but example beachfront decor search campaign. We have our 2 ad groups. The main thing I wanted to show you in this video is create organized ad groups, target really relevant keywords. So you can see all of our keywords here. You can use the search terms report as you start getting more data and seeing what terms people are actually typing in to see your ads from each of these different ad groups. You could set negative keywords to make sure, for example, if I don't want something to show when somebody searches for shark sheets, then what I can do is add sheets as a negative keyword, and that will exclude that search term from my campaign. So this is how I would set up a search campaign. This is really meant to be a quicker Google Ads tutorial, so hopefully it's been helpful. Went through pretty much all of the basics here. I will have a lot more tutorials out with a lot more detail, but this is really what I want to show you. Create organized ad groups, make sure your ads match the keywords you're targeting, and make sure the landing pages that you're sending traffic to. Obviously, I'm looking at shark betting here, but for this one, for mermaid betting, somebody goes to Google, they type in mermaid betting. Now we ran search ads down here. These are shopping ads, so that's a different type of campaign. I will have a tutorial out about that. But right here, PB Teen, Mermaid Metallic Sheet Set, Pottery Barn Teen, Wayfair, Mermaid Betting, Wayfair, Save Big with Wayfair. See my average position for this keyword. Want to get this a little higher, but working on that too. So if you have any questions about any of this, please leave them in the comments section. Thank you for watching my video today, and go create your first Google Ads campaign. And the more you run Google Ads, the better and better you'll get at it, the more you'll understand the platform. So thank you for watching my video today, and make sure you subscribe to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel.